Very much for the gifted sub. I don't know if any of you guys heard this leak. I really enjoyed it. Alright, let's turn that off. Alright guys, so I promised a show today, and believe me, we have a show. There are certain disclaimers. There are certain disclaimers that need to be said before we continue with the show. These disclaimers involves, you know, simply put, first disclaimer is this tournament is nothing like anything else. All right, this tournament is happening at an unprecedented time where we're having bubble systems where players are they're not able to interact with each other. They're not being able to, they can't interact with each other. We have no fucking clue, right? What kind of effect that is going to have. There's no crowd. There's no nothing. Home field advantage means more than anything at this point in time. Being in a hotel room, locked in, is something that some people don't deal with that well. It's something that some people don't deal with that well. It's also that you miss practice, and some teams also don't know, how to practice while they're apart. Some players need to be in a room with their teammates in order for you to, get the most out of practice. So some teams are going to get a lot out of the 2 weeks, and some people are going to get less. Right? This is going to be very, very important to highlight. After the quarantine, they're going to be together, but it's still a very unprecedented time. I mention this because this is a world where upsets are going to happen. Upsets are going to happen. Korea's in the worst shape. Their quarantine ends up something like 2nd October when Worlds start the 3rd. And there you go. Right? There is a lot of things that are going to be very, very difficult to predict. This is going to be the craziest World Championship to date. I tell you that much. Because we have a lot of teams that are strong. We didn't have any MSI. We didn't have any real international competition before this. And there's a lot of variables that teams maybe aren't prepared for. And this can make teams better. This can make teams worse. For example, Damwon, all of a sudden there's no crowd and they dominate. Right? That could be a big part of it. Right? That could be a big part of it. Before, they were scrim gods. And now all of a sudden, I'm not saying that's the truth. But, I'm not saying that's the truth, but it could be the case. It could be the case. Right? There's no crowd. China home land advantage. That matters a lot. How much do you think Nuguri's injury hurts the team? Yeah, that's a big thing too, right? There's a lot of things that, are quite crazy right now. A lot of things that could be quite crazy right now. So let's make that clear as first step, right? Second disclaimer. Deft back problems. That also is tough. That's a tough one, man. Second disclaimer, ladies and gentlemen, and everybody else. Second disclaimer is I have not done my research just yet. On what the play-in teams can and cannot do. I don't know much about PCS. Alright? I don't know much about PCS. I don't know much about, Machi Esports. I don't know much about PSG. I don't even know if they're going to qualify. This could be a Unicorns of Love. Or maybe even a Team Liquid, right? This could be anything. Alright? This could be a fucking Supermassive. This could be a V3. I don't know. But we're going to assume the top seeds are going to qualify, right? For the sake of this group prediction, all right? For the sake of this group prediction, we're going to, for the sake of this group prediction, we're going to assume this. So that's the second disclaimer. Whenever I speak about Machi Esports and PSG, it's going to be, complete question mark. So we have Team Liquid here. I completely lost my line of thought. There we go, LGD. Okay. Alright. Now let's begin the cracking on predictions. Suning is a bit of a wild card. Suning have great players in all positions. They don't have any clear weakness. They have, potential strength. People and teams see them as a dark horse because of the large variance of SoFM. Sword Art is playing super well. Huan Feng has a lot of potential. Angel is alright. Sword Art sometimes just ints, that's true. But I think Sword Art, the things he does in a lot of cases is good. I think Suning is a very, very strong team, and I also say that from scrimming them. Scrimming them they are a good team. I'm a fan of Sword Art. I like what I see coming from Sword Art. I like what I'm seeing coming from Sword Art. Guys, I am not here to argue with you who qualifies out of the planes. I don't care too much about it. We're going to assume the top seed for the sake of conversation between for the sake of conversation. Anything can happen in play-ins. Anything can happen. But we're taking the top seeds for the sake of conversation. So I know you might be from LATAM, you might be from Russia, or whatever, and you feel upset because you think your team is better than PSG with 2 subs. I don't care about this. This is plain and simple a discussion of the groups. So please let it go, yeah? It is not offensive to your team at all. This is just based off of the seeding, okay? The thing is, people are calling this the group of life because they don't know shit about Machi Esports. And they are too afraid to admit it. I can easily admit that I don't know shit about them. And this is going to be Machi Esports and PSG are the first teams that we are going to research on this channel right after this. I just decided the sequence of the content that I wanted to make lined up like this, right? So of course, this is not the greatest look, for me to not know much about PSG and Machi Esports, but I'm not too afraid to admit it. I've been busy with reviewing, making opinions on all the other teams. I think people should not assume this is group of life. But honestly, the question everyone is landing on is G2 and Suning. What's gonna happen between these two bad boys? And honestly, it's a toss-up. So I would rate G2 higher than Suning, but best of ones is a tough one for G2 sometimes. But a man's gotta make a prediction, right? A man's gonna make a prediction. Given the regular season, we don't know what G2 shows up. That is completely fair. Suning support is named Uwu. How can you beat that? Well, so we've set the stakes, right, with two important points. I'm just going to make the prediction that G2 will take first. But even writing that makes me feel a bit uneasy. So let me think about it a little bit longer. Honestly, let's cement it. Okay, let's cement it. Number 1, Suning number 2. And then yo, if it turns out, I reserve the right to change my prediction based off of my research on Machi Esports. Okay? I reserve my right to be like, holy shit, guys. I looked at Machi Esports and they're the best team in the world and I'll move them up, right? I reserve that right to do so. Okay? I guess we assume TL fourth. I don't know. Maybe they can beat Machi Esports. Nevertheless, these two teams are not gonna. I believe they bad. I'm from PCS. There we go. We don't need to research the region. Jam Chan said they're bad. So we're just not qualified. Okay. Damwon JDG. Now this is a crazy one, but I think Damwon is gonna take first here. I think Damwon's gonna take first here because I think the reason is Damwon don't mess around. Their precision when it comes to drafting and their precision when it comes to winning games is something that is very, very valuable. It's very, very valuable coming into a tournament like this, or especially in a best-of-1 format. In a best-of-1 format, I think Damwon's way of approaching the game is very strong. And I'm just going to highlight something. So I want you guys to realize something. It is very important. Just deal with it. Holy, Top East was the last place, guys. No, but so keep this in mind. All right, Damwon 3-0. Keep this in your mind. And then we have. How do we go back? Summer season. Take a look at this game score. Take a look at this game score. Damwon does not fuck around. They do not fuck around. This is a crazy game score. It's a 17-25. Come on, guys, don't do me that dirty. This is a crazy game score. Don't get it twisted, man. Don't get it twisted. So you want my prediction? I think Damwon's precision in best of ones is just very, very healthy for a group stage. But this doesn't mean necessarily that we believe that the Damwon is better than JDG. No, 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 no. Don't you think Nuguri health can have any impact? Sure, but how am I supposed to factor that in? How am I supposed to factor that in? I see a Twitter post. The doctor and the nurse was a fan of Nuguri. They knew who he was. They probably gave him the best treatment, the best drugs. Like, how am I supposed to factor that into my prediction? JDG second, Rogue third, and I feel bad for Rogue. I feel bad for Rogue. Why do I feel bad for Rogue? Because Finn is going to be swimming with motherfucking sharks. And he, just like me, is going to cut and he's going to bleed just a little bit. He's going to bleed just a little bit, yeah? And then the sharks are gonna go. And I added that bleeding part because people have very, very bad opinions of sharks. But honestly, there's not many shark murders. But they are attracted to blood, so you get me. He's playing against two of the best top laners in the tournament. Zoom and Nuguri. Nuguri is probably the best top laner in the world at devouring players that are worse than him. Nuguri is the best top laner in the world at devouring players that are worse than him. The Shy is also up there. JDG Zoom In my opinion, Zoom is the best top laner in the tournament. I love me some Zoom. I love me some Zoom. And this makes me worried. And this makes me worried. And it's not like... And at the same time, guys, it's not like, oh, top lane is a problem. You look across the board, and JDG and Damwon are fucking hard hitters. Hard hitters across the fucking board. Across the board. It's like JDG, they have Loken and Limao in the bot lane. That is mental. And then when you've talked about that, it's fucking Kanavi. Yagao might turn out to be a problem. Yagao could be a problem. Larson is, you know, a fantastic player. Keep in mind, the meta we've seen, Nuclear is shit. Bro, get with the times, son. Get with the times. Ghost is playing. Jesus, Nuclear is shit. Bro. Get with the time. Dude, stop saying the same word 4 or 5 times. Bro, go fuck yourself. Let's continue. I'm sorry, PSG. I know nothing about you. I'm still putting you forth. That is very analytical of me. Very analytical of me. So I apologize. But that's it, you know? That's it. Why know you well? We're starting this again? Oh, you well, guys. We are doing these groups. We are doing these groups once again because of seeding. That's it. That's it. Because of seeding. Nothing else. Yeah, I understand there's a chance we might have different, but then it would be like Team Liquid would go in this group, whatever, you know, it's whatever. It just makes too big of a mess. It makes too big of a mess. Okay. So this group is done. It's pretty clear cut. I think there is a world where this changes, right? There's a world where this changes too, and that's just the nature of good teams playing best of ones, right? It's just the nature of good teams playing best of ones. This can change, this can change. I'll give Rogue some credit though. Their bot lane has been performing well. And I think in a world where Finn performed better, they would be the LEC champions and they would be right now in Group A. Alright? And then maybe we would think of this in a completely different light, you know? I just think that Rogue's strengths are just normalities in a group like this. Next group. Now this is the group that everybody has been waiting for. And honestly, for me, I think Gen.G is the best team. But having experience in best of ones is very, very key. Because keep in mind, there's an issue when it comes to Gen.G. There is one issue when it comes to Gen.G. There is one issue coming to Gen.G is that they are wildly inconsistent. Wildly inconsistent. So if you look at Gen.G's game score, 12 games, it isn't too shabby, but the performance of Clid comes with a lot of... I just deleted all of the text. Let's just put it up again. Let's just make some quick lines. TL, PSG. I just deleted 3, 2, 1. This interchangeable, and then. So basically, Clid. Clid can be fantastic. Clid can be a problem, right? He's a very, very strange player, and with the nature of best of ones, Genji good, but they play like old school Korean team, which is really not true. Really not true. LGD, don't forget. I'm not so hyped on LGD as everybody else. I think LGD is... It's like Chinese TSM almost. Okay? LGD is like Chinese TSM. Why do I say that? Why do I say that? Why do I say that? It doesn't have to mean bad. Why do I say that? It's because this team is solely resting on the performance of Shie and Peanut. And people are going to reference that LGD did very good against IG, but, you know, using your performance against IG as a point of reference, honestly, you just can't. You can't do anything with that. The biggest issue I have with Fnatic into Genji, I think Fnatic isn't Kramer the best player in LGD. Not this split. Not this split, sadly. Kramer is inconsistent. The reason I say Chinese TSM is it's not to insult them. It's just that, like, oh, I think LGD is better than TSM. It's not about that, right? Kramer can pull off good performances, and the same way you can view Doublelift, right? Doublelift has not been that great, has not been that fantastic this split, right? But he can pull off good performances. On paper, you know, he is good, you know? The same thing can be said about Kramer, right? That's why they are very similar in that, you know. That's why they are very, very similar in nature. I think Kramer is better than Doublelift. Don't get me wrong. It's just a point of comparison. It's just a point of comparison just so people understand how I view LGD. They live and die by the performance of their mid laner. Peanut, I think LGD is better than TSM. I don't know how many times I need to make this clear. I think Rascal is very underrated. Ruler best AD in the tournament, we're going to leave that conversation for a bit later. I think just... So there is a problem for Genji, is that they have a little bit of variance in their play. Sometimes they draft poorly, sometimes they, you know, drop games because they are not aware that they have Ruler and Life in the bot lane. There is some room for Genji to stumble over themselves. But to make it clear, I think Genji is by far the best team in this group. Best team in this group by far. And I think BDD is the best mid laner in this group. You could argue Chie is better, but I think BDD is underrated. Oh shit, I deleted it again. I'm becoming a pro at drawing this. So alright, so let's put Genji first. I think Genji matches up very, very well against these teams. Very, very well against these teams. I think Rascal is a better version of Bwipo, if I'm gonna be honest. I think Rascal is a better version of Bwipo. Sure, Rascal doesn't play Rengar, but I think Genji, just because they have such a strong fucking bot lane, I think Genji matches up well against Fnatic. Fnatic's strength is Genji's strength. Rascal is really, really good. I think people are people are underestimating Genji. Like, Genji is a very, very stacked roster. Very, very stacked roster. Klid is a bit inconsistent. BDD is really, really underrated. Criminally underrated. Klid is the coin flip of Genji. BDD is mad overrated. Everyone talks shit on BDD, man. BDD is fucking good, man. Thorin killed BDD. The draft killed BDD. Yeah, get blind picking Karma against Chovy, you know, just BDD is really, really good. And now the rest of this is very difficult. Thing is with Fnatic. Fnatic as a team. Fnatic as a team is very, very momentum based. I think Fnatic have very strong individual pieces, and when they figure out, you know, a way to draft for themselves, they do good. Momentarily. They do good momentarily. And then afterwards, it gets figured out. I'm gonna show you something. I just want to take a step back and take a look at this video I made for Fnatic coming into the World Championship last year. Let's take a look if we can find this. So it's a very, very old video. Wow, I made a lot of content. Whoa, 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 whoa. Whoa, whoa, holy moly. Look at this content machine, guys. 2 years ago, this is too much. I played chess here. Fnatic wins Worlds.
The year is 2019. Fnatic
Jesus.
fans rejoice because they've won
What the fuck?
for Reckless, and we put in a position where he can either pick counter picks or he has those champions that are good.
Well, the only thing that's different is jungle meta with less mechanical picks. We want jungle meta with scaling picks, right? That's the only thing that has changed. So they have now, what's it called? They have, of course, self-made instead of Broxa, but everything else is bot lane centric playstyle. Hylissang on engaged champions, Nemesis on mages roamers to just completely, you know, neglect the fact that you know, just remove himself from lane phase, remove himself for any potential 2v2 situation, right? Whippon on island having counter picks, strong level 1 strategy. Like, what has changed? What has changed, right? Even here in this video, I address
And the way Fnatic play.
champion pool issues.
Difficult. As a game 3 or solve this issue. Perfect. Such a place thing to highlight is if Damwon and IG get to
And things have barely changed. How do you feel, Wunder? How do you feel about your group? What do you think about Machi? Is disrespecting Machi already? Yo, the problem I have with Fnatic is, like, against G2, right? Against G2, Lucian was banned, Orianna was banned, and you blind pick Corki against Caps. Twice. Thing is, guys. Thing is. Like, LGD have their problems too, guys. LGD is by no stretch of the imagination a perfect team. And a part of me wants to put Fnatic on 2. Bjergsen best mid in the tournament. So the reason I want to put Fnatic 2 is because usually coming into a tournament, they tend to, you know, go under the radar. They figure out a way to draft, and then eventually, you know, people ban the 3 key champions against them, and then, you know, they are in trouble. Fnatic have players that have gotten out of group many times. They have players that have gotten out of group very, very many times. I'm sure Fnatic could get a win off of getting a Lucian for free with Evelyn. I don't know, our group is probably free as fuck, but we will still drop games. Yes. We don't expect anything else. It's hard for me to put you guys on first, even though I think you guys are the strongest in the group. It's just that it's just you guys are gonna I'm feeling you guys are gonna win the tiebreak. That's my bet here. I have a feeling you guys are gonna win a tiebreaker against Suni. Just don't drop any games against Tia, will you? Well, Fnatic fans need to hope that, you know, Fnatic fans need to hope that coming into the tournament that scrims are going well. I think that's gonna matter so much, because the happiness of the team is going to make or break them. Fnatic have strong individual pieces. Hylissang is good. I think Bippo is a bit underrated. I think Selfmade is good. I think Reckless is really good. If we get TL, then that's at least 2 wins in the bag. Nice. Fnatic won against Suning. Guys, for the love of God. This was a game where all of them got their one tricks. Like, let's be real. They got Lucian, they got Evelyn, they got Thresh, they got Shen. And then, okay, Ezreal. Whatever. Alright. Should we put this on a break for a little while? Let's do this as the final one. Let's put this as the final one. So let's be honest. Let's be honest, guys. There's no other way to view this, with potential of these two switching around. Yeah, this is definitely their new name. The problem with DRX. You think Matt has absolutely no shot? No, of course. I'm gonna be honest, guys. When there's 3,000 people in the chat, I am not gonna care about your opinion of my opinion. So just keep that to yourself. Mad Lions 2 is very possible. But the thing is, keep in mind, Chovy dragged his team to beat Genji in a best of 5. Alright? They beat Genji in a best of 5. They beat Genji in a best of 5. Alright? And people are saying Mad Lions convincingly second? No way. No way. With a fucking 5-hour pause, how's that a valid metric? What do you mean? Well, he didn't have a pause too? What? How is that an argument? Chovy played really, really well. I think Genji is better than DRX. But Chovy is really, really insane. And Deft and Korea can be really, really good too. Can be really, really good. People are talking about DRX underperforming, but what the fuck was Mad Lions doing? Was Mad Lions good at all for the last 4-5 weeks of LEC play? They weren't. They weren't. People talking about Mad Lions as if they are some hot shit coming into the tournament, but imagine being called TSM fans are delusional and then you make such delusional statements. There's a lot of irony in that. You know, everyone goes through the same problem when pauses happen. Sure, it affects people differently, but to take away from Chovy's performance for the entire split for this reason. You know, Chovy didn't just do well in one best of 5. This man was dominating also in the regular split. DRX almost got first place off of the back of DRX's performance. The biggest issue with DRX coming into this group is their drafting. Honestly, their drafting is some of the wildest shit you'll ever see. I feel like a lot of the times they are rolling a dice when they're choosing champions. And I think in a lot of cases, they are so focused on their lane matchups that they forget the complete interaction of what is going on in the game. Mad, I'll give Mad this, a little asterisk. Mad is a team that can play with a lot of variance. They have a lot of variance. TSM fans are delusional. I get, like, I understand your point, but you think that best of 5 defines the DRX as a team? That's silly. As silly as it might sound, people are looking at, like, this could be this can be considered a group of life. I know that might sound silly, but this can be considered a group of life because DRX and Mad Lions are so wildly inconsistent. Very, very inconsistent. But even on the worst day, FlyQuest is not going to beat DRX and Mad Lions. So it just happens to be the wrong third seed. Do a poll for every group? Man, this is not Who Wants to Be a Millionaire. Ask the audience. This is my stream. Yeah, people come here for my opinions. He just predicted most obvious tournament based on power rankings practically. Nothing interesting. At least put something spicy in. Just predict things to be edgy. You think this is ESPN or what? You think this is the .esports? Do you want something spicy just to make it spicy? Like this is not the place, you know. I add spice to add flavor, not to just shock people. Like, look, he has fucking snot coming out of his nose and he can't breathe. Oh, we don't have milk, ha ha ha. You want some water? Never mind, it doesn't help. You know? It doesn't really work that way, you know? Does it something change if PSG doesn't make it out? Well, we don't know. Like I reserve my right to change based off of play-ins, because I think play-in teams should not be underrated. Like the better they are, the like they're getting better every year. I've given my reasons as to why I put Damwon here. There's JDG can be better than Damwon. I just think that Damwon play with such a high level precision that they are less likely to drop best of ones. JDG, like Yagao can solo lose a game. That can happen, you know. Anyway. The reason I said Group D can be the group of life is if DRX is wildly inconsistent, Mad Lions is wildly inconsistent. These are the type of teams that can drop games against some of the worst, against teams that are on paper worse than them. But I think just coming into the World Championship, hopefully, like Deft is in form. Like if Deft is in form and Korea is in form, like this can be one of the best bot lanes in the world. Alright, Chovy. If you don't have Chovy in at least your top 3. If you don't have Chovy in your top 3, you're doing something wrong, right? Like Chovy has been insane this split. Or this year even. Keep in mind, guys, this is best of 1. This is not a power ranking of the tournament. This is best of 1. And now to finalize, I am honestly not super sold on... So if we consider this matchup, LGD versus Fnatic. Fnatic, I think as a team, if they figure out the way they want to play and they can steal some victories in best of 1s, Fnatic can do that. They can get some draft victories. I think Fnatic is a team that, you know, in best of 5, I would probably favor LGD. In best of 1, I'm leaning towards Fnatic, based on what I know. It also matters that they have players that historically get out of groups. But it's also OP that LGD... It's also OP that LGD don't need to quarantine. That's also really OP. Explanation for top esports number 1. Does it really require an explanation? Fnatic week 2, we don't care about this. Like, who cares? Who cares about this? Like, Xie is better. Xie is better than Nemesis. Like, I think Nemesis is the worst mid laner in this group. He has a lot to prove. And that could be the liability. That could be the liability. But Nemesis, one thing that he's good at is waiting. You know? He's good at waiting. You know, let Hilly, Billy, and Selfmade and Reckless do their thing, you know? And let the Gangplank ults fly into the bottom side, and there you go. I think Nemesis is very knowledgeable as a player. Like I miss the Nemesis that played a very strong TF, you know, played the side lane very well. You know, I miss this Nemesis because I think this was the strongest version of Nemesis, the one that just played with his mind. Mechanically and lane phase wise, I think that's where he struggles, and I think Fnatic as a whole don't have any 2v2 prowess at all. They don't have any 2v2 prowess at all. It always, the last 2 years has been the same. Broxa and with Selfmade, the 2v2 mid is just not there. And that's dangerous. But what if they sub in Maggie Felix? I don't think that's gonna happen, guys. I think Broxa Fnatic was stronger than Selfmade Fnatic. Well, maybe it's Young Buck Fnatic, you know? But yeah. So my reasoning for this, so the conclusion, because we have to make a conclusion, we can't just sit here and think about this the entire time. I think it is going to help that Fnatic get to see LGD play. I think that matters a lot. They are going to get to watch LGD play. I think that matters so much. They get to watch LGD play, and Fnatic get to prepare against LGD. And I think Fnatic in best of ones can steal away victories. I think in best of fives, that's where they are going to struggle because they play with relatively small champion pools. Something that I forgot to add as a disclaimer when I mentioned this is an unprecedented World Championship, this is best of ones, is that we are gonna have a patch. We don't even know the World's patch yet. We don't know the World's patch yet. And guys, 10.16 was massive for Fnatic. It was massive for Fnatic. Evelyn got buffed, Hecarim got buffed. We do? 10.19 is out? 10.19 is out? It's a preview. What was this? It's a preview. What does this give me? Okay, great. Now I know. Great. Let's practice Sivir. And then it's like 1 second cooldown down on E spell shield. Until it's out, it's not out. Specifics out. This doesn't help. When it's out, it's out. Surrender at 20. You know, it's early. It's still not confirmed, guys. It's still not confirmed. Mark Yetter Twitter. All right, Mark Yetter. What? Yeah, so we don't have patch notes. They're not set in stone. So stop talking shit, guys. They're not set in stone. Right? They're not set in stone. Until we have a post like... Until we have a post like this, we don't believe anything. Until we have something like this, we don't believe. Until we have these cringy quotes from this Sona avatar, we don't care. Okay, now this is slightly useful. This is slightly useful. Oh, you pass the bonus attack speed. Oh, okay, that's big. Wow. Wow. But then again, this is a subject of change. This is a subject of change. This is a subject of change. I'll believe it when it's out. Anyhow, this is my conclusion and my group prediction. Once again, this is best of one. So I can be wrong. Accept that, yeah? If you want, you can tweet it, you can be angry, you can whatever. This is the business of prediction, the prediction game. It's best of one. The patch isn't out yet. I understand that Mark Yetter posts some stuff, but it's not enough to make convictions, okay? It's not enough to make convictions. So this is certain. This is certain. Do we believe the LoL Wiki? This patch is yet not live. The major part of changes on this page are unconfirmed. Unconfirmed, guys. Unconfirmed. So I'm not gonna waste time discussing this right now, okay? Alright? Because it's unconfirmed. Yon is not out. Do you dislike the fact that Yon is disabled? I don't care so much. It's a champion with a lot of depth, so anything can happen. Anyhow, this is the final product of what I think is going to happen. I've given my reasoning, so you can just check out the vote. The vote is accessible for anyone that is has an internet connection, honestly. Let's leave it at that. Yeah, definitely a toss-up. This arrow means it's a toss-up. Genji will have to waste bans on Fnatic Pokepicks. Well, are they really wasteful when it really breaks the enemy team? That's the thing, right? Alright, guys. we are now going to continue to the second portion of the broadcast. Real patch notes. I'm not pressing this Imgur. That's a bait. I need some mods, man. I really need some mods. I'm trying to see if there are some names that are usually here that I recognize. Nisuger et, that's the name that I recognize. Zumgl. A lot of new faces. Put me in, coach. Well, Red is 99, you are VIP, you're gonna lose your VIP. Okay, you are now mod. You are now mod. You've been granted with infinite powers, young Padawan. Jag kan modda. Jan! 1, 2, 3, 1, 2, 3. Thank you very much. Oh, Rabbit. Yeah, you get the mod as well, Rabbit. Yeah, Captain Pure Official. That's also a good one. Captain Perfect Official. Alright. There we go. We have enough mods now. We have enough mods. Alright. So this was the group draw, or group prediction. Let's just press this for a little moment. So I can prepare. I don't want to reveal it too much, man. I'm gonna milk it a little bit, of course. It is time for the playlist. Alright, guys. Stop deleting all the messages, guys. Stop deleting the messages. Yeah, I give you guys power, and this is how you repay my love. I gave you everything. Is this how you repay my love? Alright, the group, the top list is coming out soon, guys. It's gonna come out soon. Are you guys excited? Are you excited? Are your messages deleted?